Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to our podcast. Today we're going to be talking about our NFL predictions for the upcoming weekend. We have some exciting topics tonight. We're going to talk about win margin, probability. We're going to start a contest. Are you smarter than the Algo? We'll take our challenge and let's see. And we have two wonderful, amazing sports journalists who are joining us today, Marcus Anderson and Mac Heacock. Okay, so my name is Rob Kissell. I'm a professor at Fordham University. We created to be an analytical sports prediction model based on machine learning, artificial intelligence, and let's see if our sports people can beat the predictions. Okay, I'll turn it over to Marcus and then Mac. Let's introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit, and then we'll jump into the fun part.
Well, hello everybody. I'm Marcus Anderson, and I'm here as a first-time member with Algo Sports. It just come from so before this, I've been writing sports articles for TDD Media, SPGN, and also Butler County High School Sports Report. So pretty much, I've been about 5 to 6 years. I've been writing sports articles, sports writing. I've been involved in the business. Also attended a couple of Cavaliers games in the past, a couple of Guardians and Indians games in the past as well for media coverage as well, along with for WZIP with my affiliation there, and spent time with WZIP as a sports reporter and a sports show host for Sports Power Talk for about past 7 years, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Pretty much. And despite the jacket, I'm not a Bears fan. My team has been the Eagles for a long time, so don't be fooled by the jacket. Or for a team to watch,
logo.
And hey, everybody, I'm Mac Heacock. I grew up in Southern Indiana. Just previously before my time here, I'm a first-year member with Algo Sports 2-3 as well. And preceding this, I was with Indiana University for 3.5 years when I did my bachelor's degree in undergrad, and I got a degree in sports marketing and management from their School of Public Health with a minor in business from the Kelley School of Business over there in Bloomington. Just recently, I just graduated in May with my master's degree as well in sport marketing and athletic administration, where both of those degrees have taught me a lot and am trying to put me in the best position as well to try to make a future here in the sports industry. And along with like my collegiate career, I have spent some time as an assistant athletic director for a local high school near Bloomington, Indiana when I was in college. That was Seven Oaks Classical School. So got a lot of hands-on experience as an athletic director there in terms of operations, communications, and many different aspects of the athletic director position. And similar to Marcus, I've had a lot of experience with like research writing and journalism as well through my high school and collegiate career. So just super excited for this opportunity and excited to get some game day picks going. And glad Marcus prefaced he's not a Bears fan. I'm a Lions fan, so did not want the NFC North rivalry brewing.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. It says, how about tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into the data. We'll jump into the predictions.
Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Sez, and I'm big basketball fan, not NFL, but I love sports in general. So super excited to be here and hear all of your predictions and analysis that you are ready to share with the crowd.
Okay, and Says is also behind the sports model. So, well, one thing I want to talk about, I'll start is you could always check out our predictions on Algo Sports 23 on our website and our app. Today's podcast is all about the NFL, but we also do predictions for college football for the FBS. And unlike many of the other sports prediction models out there, I hear a lot of people on ESPN, other sports media saying, how come Indiana's not ranked number one? What's going on? But Algo Sports 23 has had Indiana University as the number one football team since week one. Okay, hence the hat. So if you want correct mathematics, sports predictions, this is a place to be. Okay, everyone. So let's start with some upcoming games. So the game tonight, we have Jets Patriots. So we have a big win probability. The model's saying Patriots have a 90% chance of winning, and a margin of 15. What do you feel about that, Marcus and Mac? Behind the
Uh,
Jets? Anyone gonna back the Jets? It's all about the Patriots. And if so, by how much?
I definitely do see the Patriots walking away with a win in this one. Drake May is pulling away, is a massive MVP candidate, and he is looking stellar. And the Patriots are shocking everyone with the record they have this year. But just to play devil's advocate, I do not think the margin will be as big, despite kind of the Jets folding and admitting that they're giving up for the year by trading Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. I do think there's a little bit of fight from some guys like Breece Hall that are on their contract years that have something to prove still. So I think it will be a little tighter than the 15-point margin, but I do see the Patriots still walking away with a win.
Okay, Marcus.
Yeah, I do say the Patriots are winning as well, and by that large margin, I say about by 23. I mean, even though the Jets are on are hot right now, 2-game winning streak, let's not forget the fact that they had their first 2 wins against the Browns and the Bengals, which are 2 teams that are slumping right now. And then Mike Vrabel already has his team riding high and already look like Super Bowl contenders, and most likely going to run away with the AFC East. And yeah, so the Patriots are rolling at this point.
And that's good to hear. And I think the opening line was 5.5. So I'm saying I'm going with the Algo. Patriots are covering. It's going to be big, more than 5. Okay. How about Dolphins Commanders? Because we have a little difference here. So I think the so-called industry pundits have the Commanders winning, but Algo's saying no, it's the Dolphins. Dolphins by 3, 61%.
You can go first, Marcus.
Yeah, I say the Dolphins. I say they would cover. I say actually a little bit more, a little higher, like by 5. And since and the Commanders' defense has been terrible for the past 2 games, and they are even gonna get more worse because the Ron Payne, their best defender, is out, is suspended for that game, and the Dolphins' offense are like catching fire, especially surprisingly shocking the Bills the way they did. The largest win they had over the Bills since in McDaniel's era. And I think they're going to ride high and surprisingly mathematically up for the playoffs. So they're going to most likely get this win and understand that how important this game is. So I got the Dolphins by 5.
Okay,
I
Mac.
uh I also got the Dolphins, but this is my probably blowout for the week. I have them with a 2 to 3 touchdown win over the Commanders. The Commanders are riddled with injuries with Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin still out, and like Marcus said, the defense is only getting worse with more injuries coming. And these losses for the Commanders as of late, last week was the Lions. They're just debilitating for the locker room, and to see guys, the superstars that are still out. And the Dolphins, like Marcus said again, with coming off hot of wins against the Bills, some of the best teams in the NFL, and then looks like they're finally catching their rhythm in these must-win games. I think the Dolphins offense puts on a show and torches the Commanders defense.
Okay, good to hear. How about let's go to you later on in Sunday. I should have said that's a game in Europe, right? Is that Germany? Okay, so we're all going to get up early and watch that. Wow, I like that Marcus and Mac are saying, it's Algo's got close. They're predicting more than the Algo, so they're going big. So good. How about Tampa Bay and Buffalo? I'm looking right now, and I think the predictions is Bills, but again, Sports Algo has Tampa, has Buccaneers. Pretty much even 1 point, about 53%. How do you guys feel about this?
I think, I mean, most people hear the Bills and they assume that they're gonna win the matchup they're playing. But going back just to the last game with mentioning the Dolphins, I mean, the Bills coming off of a massive loss to the Dolphins is also harmful to their locker room. And then the Buccaneers are just one of the most electric offenses in football. I really just love what Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are doing this year, and I think they go into Buffalo and take one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, these are two awful defenses, and I can see this being this huge shootout with both teams going to 30 or even 40, maybe, and two great
Wow.
quarterbacks in Baker and Josh. And I haven't checked the injury report if they're going to have Bucky Irvin back or not, or even Rashad White. But hopefully, if the Buccaneers can have one of them back for this game, I'm most likely to pick them. And I think Mike Evans is out for the year. I'm not sure about a long period of time, but I'm lean towards the Bills and agree with the. I'll go by one. Yeah, margin one.
Okay, but wow, Marcus is going against the Algo. Huh? He's really looking to beat the Algo. He's going big and opposite now. So next one, Falcons home, Panthers. Algo's given 4 points, 4.2 to Atlanta. I think the spread, I'm looking now, the spread is okay, pretty close. The line is at 3. Everyone's picking the Falcons, so either 3 or 4. So I think the Vegas line got this one right. They understand the math on this game. So how do you both feel?
I mean, these are, to me, this is the hardest game to call. I mean, the Panthers and Falcons are two very quality teams that they're proving to be this year, but so inconsistent. They have their losses are terrible, but their highs are really high as well. But I do give the edge to the Falcons in this one just because the Panthers, they look very scary, and most of their wins come from when the run game is so dominant because Bryce Young still is just struggling to come into his own in that offense, it looks like. But Michael Penix and Drake London, they're finally firing on all cylinders, along with Kirk Cousins too, whenever he's playing. So I just think that offense has more going for it than a run-heavy offense that the Panthers will likely have to utilize, even from playing from behind to win that game.
Wow, that's terrific. And I can't tell you last time I heard so much, terrific commentary and reasoning. I'm a numbers person, so why did the Algo get it? That's what the math says. That's where I end. So I love hearing the commentary from both of you. Okay, let's go to Packers and New York. Packers at Giants. So this is another slight edge to Green Bay. 3 points. The Algo's saying 60%. The line is a little more than a field goal, 4.5, but in line. You agree with that, or the differences? So we'll start with Marcus.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be more. I think it's gonna be more than that. The Packers, pretty much, I say they win by 10 because not. It's with the Giants. It's not Jackson Dart. It's not even Russell Wilson starting. But I believe it's believed that it's gonna be Jameis Winston starting for the Giants. And the Packers remains one of the most elite defenses in the league with Micah Parsons and also Xavier McKinney. And it's just a stout defense to allow someone like Jameis Winston and a Malik Neighborless offense to go off and explode off on in a game like this. And I'm not. I forgot. Are they in New York or at Lambeau? I forgot.
Oh, it's in New York. It's in New York.
Well,
So,
either way, it's still gonna be a huge win by the Packers, and I believe this is gonna be the game where their offense is gonna break out of their current slump.
so this is a must watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I completely agree with Marcus. If anybody watched Monday Night Football, Jordan Love and that Packers offense looked terrible. I mean, the Eagles too, but they were able to squeak out a win. I think this is the a Packers bounce back game against a Giants team without Neighbors and Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on. How about let's look at Jaguars Chargers. So this is another tough game to pick. Algo's picking Jaguars. Jaguars by point 1.1. Just slight edge, 54%. I think Algo's giving them the edge because they're the home team, that home field advantage. Okay, what do you feel there?
I sorry,
Sorry.
Marcus. I completely am going to go against the algo on this one. I think
Oh,
I think Herbert is now here in the next either week or two is going to explode into those MVP conversations with how the Chargers offense has been looking. And I think this is going to be a two or more touchdown win by the Chargers against the Jags.
Yeah, I go against the Algo too. I'm with Mac as well, and that's just because like I completely lost my faith with the Jaguars. I mean, despite how talented of a team they are, I had so much hope. At having them seeing them at 5-3, actually at 4-1 early in the season, they're gonna fall off like this. And this was seeing them lose to the Texans with Davis Mills at quarterback. That was just a last straw, especially after having like a 20 point lead or something like that, and then gonna lose the lead to Davis Mills, and then completely losing my faith. I don't know which way to go with Trevor Lawrence, but I'm not sure if he's the guy anymore in Jacksonville. And going up against a tough defense, elite defense, and the Chargers, I got LA by 2, actually a 6.
Okay, wow. So both going against the Algo. Wow. I can't wait to see the results here. Okay, so going against the math, going against the Algo. Okay, the next one is big. Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals, Boomer's team. Um, so I say this is a big game because the Algo's picking Steelers. Steelers 80%, 84%, and should win by 11. And I think that's going against everyone else. Seems like um, the industry pundits are saying, the Bengals are going to win by, I think, 1.5 is the latest line. So big discrepancy here between the math and industry. How about you two as being our experts?
I also got the Steelers in this one. It feels like ever since that Colts the win against the Indianapolis Colts, it's they've they're beginning to figure it out and fire, especially on the defensive end. They're firing on all cylinders, and they're finally looking like the Mike Tomlin Steelers that we've come to know, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The Bengals are a little bit worrisome with how high powered their offense can be in some games. But I do not think against the Steelers defense that they're going to be able to have like a 470-yard game like Joe Flacco did a couple weeks ago. And I think the Steelers are going to hold the defense is going to hold them to a few points. And I think it really just comes down to how Aaron Rodgers plays. He did not look good in their Thursday night matchup last week and or Sunday night, but he didn't look too good. But I think he figures it out against the Bengals defense too, who's also looking a lot weaker now.
Okay, terrific, terrific. We'll see. So another big game to watch. So this is big. How about Texans Titans? Um, you know, Texans are on the road. Because that I'll go saying Texans are going to win big again, 85%. They're going to win by 11. Um, what do you feel there?
Yeah, I can't go against the Algo. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, the Texans, they understand what's at stake, and they're playing against a Titans team without a football team without an identity. Don't know who they are, but I do have faith in Cam Ward. I believe he does have a great future in the NFL, despite him being on the Titans. But for this day, I got the Texans and by 11.
Okay, I think the line is 2.5. So we're both saying they're going to be big. They're going to cover. Okay, Mac.
Nothing much more to be said after what Marcus just said. I completely agree. Do think Cam Ward was placed into a bad situation. Maybe in years to come he can figure out with Tennessee, but there's a no-brainer. Texans all day on this one.
Okay, the next one I thought we'd had some fun with. So Vikings Bears, especially with Marcus's blue and orange and his wear today. I'll go saying it's Minnesota. 59%, but it's a tight one. It's a field goal, 2.9. 2.9 points. So let's round it to 3. So Vikings or Bears?
I I got the Bears in this one, as much as I hate to say it, but a fellow divisional matchup with two NFC North teams, as I am a Lions fan. But out of the two, it looks like Caleb Williams is really coming into his own this year, and this is where I feel like the maturity is setting in for him. and that offense is starting to explode. It has been streaky in towards the beginning of the season, but I think on this back half we're going to see a lot more consistency from them. And JJ McCarthy, I'm still not sold on his quarterback play, and I think he is very inconsistent. And I feel like this is going to be one of those matchups that it seems like a no-brainer Vikings win, or at least not even a no-brainer, just a Vikings win in general. But this is, I think, the type of game that Caleb Williams turns around the script and manages a way to win.
Well, got it, got it. Okay, let's move the Cardinals, 49ers. Um, Algos have Cardinals. 60% field goal, 3.1 spread. They're gonna win by 3.1. This is another tight game. Field goals could go one way or another. You get that wind in your favor, against you for that last chance. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, I gotta disagree with that. I'm going with the Niners in this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely going with the Niners, as Shanahan has his team going the right direction.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Did I get it wrong? Algo did say the 49ers. I think I said
Oh,
it
okay,
correctly.
good.
Okay.
I'm going with the Niners. It's I'm gonna have them win by 6 actually, because that's still a tough defense without Fred Warner, and Kyle Shanahan is still managing to get this team on the right track. And just knowing how much they don't have low on ammunition and still striving and look like a playoff team. So I got the Niners rolling in Arizona.
Okay, Mac.
Yeah, I also agree. I got the Niners, and I'm actually gonna go with the Algo on the spread for around 3 points, a field goal, give or take 3 to 6 points. But like Marcus said, this is a Niners team that still looks like they have very strong playoff hopes, but it is very contingent on Christian McCaffrey. It seems like if they can get him rolling early, he is the heart and soul of that team, and looks like their whole offense in a lot of games so far this year. But Jacoby Brissett, to give him credit, he's been playing out of his mind as a backup quarterback meant to step in. So I think it could go either way, but I will give the edge to the Niners on this one.
Okay, terrific, terrific. Rams, Seahawks. So this is being Seahawks are on the road. It's another tight one. But Rams are favored. Algo saying 2.8 points.
Yeah, so now these days, the upset games are like, now they're calling it trap games. And I think this is going to be a tough game for the Seahawks, despite how they're just blowing teams out of the water. And I think this is a chance for the Rams to actually expose the Seahawks the same way they did to the 49ers, the same way they did to the Jaguars back in London a few weeks back. And they could have exposed the Eagles back in week 3. I don't know how they didn't come away with that. And I'm very convinced, as I'm hearing more experts each day, it's calling the Rams the best team in the NFL and the one team in the NFL that they could actually trust and could see playing the Super Bowl more than any other team in the NFL. And I'm convinced as well the Rams are the best team in the NFL. And I could see them exposing the Seahawks. So I got them over the Seahawks. I got Rams in this one.
Okay, okay.
I also have the Rams, but similar to the Algo, probably within a field goal in this one. I think this is my personal game of the week that I'm most excited to watch. And I think this is a game where it proves there's a lot on both sides. It's a game that's going to really push for Matt Stafford's MVP candidacy moving forward in this season, and then for Sam Darnold to prove that he's a legit quarterback and that the Seahawks are a real threat this year moving on too. And I think this game is going to be a complete shootout. Each team, 25, 30 points each. I think this is going to be the game of the week for sure.
Wow, that's fun to watch. Fun to watch. Good, good. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's move to Broncos Chiefs. And here's one where the Algo sees it a little different than the rest of the universe. That seems to be favoring the Chiefs. The Algo's saying it's going to be Denver. The Broncos, they're at home. It's almost a pick 'em. Just about 2 points, 1.9. And the rest of sports is saying Chiefs. How about you two? Who do you think?
I think they're gonna catch the Broncos. This is the time the Broncos are gonna catch the Chiefs in a bad mood, and the Chiefs are come off a bye week. They're well rested, and they're coming. They're gonna come in a bad mood. They're gonna run the football a lot, and they still the champs. Even though the Broncos are on top of the AFC West, but the Chiefs are still the champs. And if you want to be the best, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I don't think the Broncos, with what's going on with their offense, is kind of schizophrenic right now. They don't know what they're doing, and it seems like it's a questionable playbook that Sean Payton has got for the Broncos. And I don't even think Bo Nix knows what he's doing, but I'm pretty sure Mahomes knows what he's doing, and he understands what's at stake. So I got the Chiefs by 9.
Wow. Okay. So again, going big, going against the Algo.
Yeah.
So Marcus seems to be the anti-Algo guy tonight with a lot of it. Even when he's on the same side, he's more than the Algo. The Algo doesn't understand math. That's what I'm reading from Marcus tonight.
And then I'm also going to agree with Marcus. The Broncos,
Oh,
despite the record, I completely agree with Marcus. Some week by week, it looks like Bo Nix is a top 5 quarterback in the league, and then the very next week he'll play like a bottom 5 quarterback in the NFL. And I think that type of inconsistency is never a thing you can go against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes with. They have all the experience over the last better half of a decade, and at the end of the day, they just have that winner's DNA that you can't really account for with numbers, I think. And I also got the Chiefs by 10 in this one.
wow. Okay. Okay. So everyone's going against the Algo. Everyone's going against the math today, at least with this game. So let's move on. How about Ravens Browns? So here it's Browns are home, but the Algos are picking the Algo. I think that's similar to others. 67%. Algo saying win by 5.1. I think the line when I checked was 8.5. How do you feel about that? Vegas
Ravens,
getting it right? We know the Algo's right. So how about
uh,
everyone else?
Ravens by 20, honestly. I mean, the Browns can start whoever at quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, Tim Couch, or Otto Graham, whoever. But it's the Ravens are on a hot streak right now. They're rolling, and it's definitely going to be a 20-point win, maybe a 30-point win for the Ravens, honestly.
And then
Wow.
I also completely agree. Lamar, he's back. He realizes he's got to dig the Ravens out of the hole that they kind of dug themselves into in his absence. And he's playing like he has something to prove, like he's wanting another MVP. And the Ravens are a quality team that I think got really unlucky and were playing without an identity at the beginning stretch of the season. I think now they're wanting to prove to the NFL that they're still one of the teams to look out for in the AFC. And I also got the Ravens by around 3 touchdowns, 21 points.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So that's big. Everyone's blowing out the Algo here. Okay. That's good. That's good. Couple more. Eagles home against the Lions. I just heard that. Do we have a Lions fan in the house? Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna have to go against the Algo on this one, but not because of bias. The Eagles coming off that last game they played against Jordan Love on Monday Night Football. Jalen Hurts and the rest of that Eagles offense is in shambles. It looks like they barely squeaked out a win, only with 10 points. It looks like the locker room's completely lost. You have AJ Brown hopping on live streams with influencers saying, if you have fantasy, don't or drop me now. Like he's having a terrible year. And it looks like players like him and Devontae are just completely fed up with the offense and how things are going this year. And that is the exact opposite of where you want to be in the NFL, having guys that are not believing in the process that you're in the play calling. So, and then the Lions, one of the most dominant offenses in NFL history over this past like 4 year stretch. And I think they've had some 2 losses now to the Chiefs and Packers in week 1. I think they're wanting to try to chase that 1 seed again in the NFC, and then this is a perfect game to prove that against the Eagles.
Hey, terrific, terrific. Marcus, how do you feel? With
Uh,
this
I, I'm
one?
going with I'm going with the Eagles on this one. I say by 10, between 7 and 10, and I'm not being biased as well. And because they got a defensive mastermind in Vic Fangio, and that was some of the best defensive football I ever seen last Monday night between the Eagles and Packers, and just seeing them able to slow down Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs, one of the best backs of the league. He's pretty much David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs combined pretty much and be able to – I could see the Eagles easily – not easily, but be able to slow down those two guys in that offense by Jared Goff. And Jared Goff can have his days and have his off days as well. And this is the most human I've ever seen the Lions this year than the past 2 seasons. And the Eagles, you could say anything bad about them, they find ways to win. And that's what makes them one of the best teams in the NFL.
Okay, wonderful. Remember, everyone, you saw it here first on Algo Sports. Okay, now comes what the Algo saying is game of the week. We have Raiders Cowboys. Algo's given slight edge to the Raiders. Just slightly over 50% chance of winning. This is a 0.2 game. So it's going to be whoever has the ball last is going to win. But the Algo is picking on the Raiders. I think when last I checked, I think it was common pulling for the Cowboys by about a point, but still tight. This is a game to watch. So Marcus and Mac, tell us your feeling for this game. Should we watch it, or is it going to be a blowout? I'll go right or wrong here.
I'm going to go against the Algo on this one. The Cowboys' record, I think, is not very reflective of that offense at times and how it can get going. And I think this is going to be a blowout. The Raiders, I think, are just that bad. And on the level, like they're the one team I would put above the Titans this year, but still bottom 2 team in the NFL this year. The Raiders have no identity. Geno Smith feels like no one in that team has confidence in him. Shipped away Jacoby Myers, their best offensive weapon outside of Brock Bowers. And it is just not looking good over in Vegas right now for them. And the hopes are not high. I got the Cowboys by a lot on this one.
You do? Okay, wow. Okay, Marcus.
Yeah, be honest with you, I agree. This is a sleeping pill of a football game, honestly. So
that's what I just said. It's the game to watch. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I knew we were going to bash the Algo hour here.
These two are bad football teams, to be honest with you. The Cowboys, with how explosive their offense is, and like George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, they are the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. And just because those two, and with this offense, knowing how to get in the end zone in many ways, then one, I got them by 3, just because they're bad defense. And this is the best game I'm going to see Geno Smith maybe have as a Raider finally. So I see the Cowboys winning by 3. So it's going to be a tight ball game still.
I'm rooting for a tie in this game. Okay, that's what I'm rooting for. Come down to that last play, let it end in a tie. That's what I'm rooting for. Okay. Well, terrific with the predictions, everyone. I'm excited for the weekend. Thanks for joining us. And
Yes.
one last item. So to make this fun, make this a challenge, Marcus, Mac, we had your picks this week, but how about you challenge someone, a colleague, a friend, someone you know, to come on the show, or at least submit their picks next week to see if they're smarter than the Algo, if they could win. Have anyone in mind to put on the spot right now for our audience, sports fans?
Definitely. So my good friend Brock, he's a student over he just graduated over at Northwestern University with getting his master's as well. But he is a big user of Algo Sports for his betting and everything. He says he will not make any sports bet without Algo anymore after I told him that I was doing the internship and everything. So he's a massive fan of the app, swears by it up and down. And definitely next week, I've already messaged him. I'm challenging him next week for some picks.
Okay, Brock, you're on. Brock, you beat the Algo with sending you a T-shirt. Okay. Marcus, how about you? Have anyone you would want to put on the spot?
I got plenty of friends of mine, some old mates I used to work with at WZIP, still talk with them. And one friend in particular, I'm not sure if Macca like him be on the show, but his name is Devin. He's a Packers fan, and he's real disillusioned.
He came back out now. We already called him out. He's in. I'm putting his name down in pen and a Sharpie.
Yeah, believes that Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback in the league. But yeah, we'll see if you might see him on the show, and maybe some other mates from WZIP.
Okay, let's see if we can beat the Algo. And same thing, we'll send him a T-shirt, okay, if we can. Okay. Well, terrific. I think this about wraps it up. But thanks everyone. This was great commentary. I probably learned more about upcoming weekend of football just listening to both of you. So terrific. And just a reminder to everyone to hop on Algo Sports 23, get the latest rankings, predictions, head-to-head matchups, and also something I want to point out, maybe a little tease for next week where you can also check out the probability of a team covering odds, probability of a team covering a spread. So a lot of exciting things are happening, and remember, you heard it from us first. Okay? So it says, did we miss anything? We're good.
I think we're doing great. Based on the conversation we had, I was wondering how much trust are you guys putting in this model right now, specifically Algo Sports, doing some gut check. So, Marcus, what do you think? How much percentage would you bet your money if you would?
I'm not a gambling man, but I'll probably put let's say 15%, probably.
Oh, he's got a numbers person. Wow. I think we picked up on that when you're going big and opposite of the algo. Okay.
I am also not much of a gambler myself, but based off, just like I said, my friend Brock, he swears up and down by it, and he says it's turned him a pretty penny. So just from the algo in Brock having my faith, I'd do about 60%. I got faith.
Hey, I'm taking back what I said. Brock, you're sending us t-shirts next week. How about that? Okay. Okay, everyone. Thank you. We're looking forward to the next episode, and we'll, reviewing, seeing who beat the algo, and you'll see commentary. Mac and Marcus have been writing some terrific articles. Check out our website, join our team, and everything will be sent to you right in your inbox before everyone else. Okay? Thank you.